Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamey Daddy channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new improvements from the summit and how these improvements or similar improvements need to be transferred into modes like Kenley College and perhaps even certain modes that are already established within the game. Now, with the summit, they've actually provided something that's very unique and very cool, and that's a targeted loot system that will bring replayability to the mode. I think players said replayability was, the biggest problem of the summit. It's boring and all that. But that right now is like a glass that has just dropped from a 30-foot, building and is about to hit. Nope, there it is. It's all shattered. And so the developers have already brought this whole targeted loot system where you can actually personalize your targeted loot, and you can go into this mode and you can farm. You can change the difficulty to whatever it is you want, and you can farm in those difficulties and play the mode over and over again to get the gear and the items that you need, and perhaps take those into playing raids, take those into playing legendary missions, or whatever missions you want to play. Because to be very honest, some pieces have not even dropped for me in different forms. I haven't seen anything more than 2 pieces of Foundry Bulwark since I've been farming. I haven't seen anything more than 2 or 3 pieces of Eclipse Protocol since I said Eclipse Protocol, sorry, I meant Future Initiative since I've been farming. So for me, this is a plus, and for many other people, we see this as a plus. So even if that's actually relegated to the summit, I'm not saying they need to bring it to all the content in the game, don't get me wrong. I feel like they need to now proceed to making Kenley College very unique and bring something that would attract players to it. And what this will have to be from the creative aspect of the developers. Now, I don't know what they're planning for the Code Nightmare thing that's coming in holiday of this year. I don't know if it's going to be coming November or December. I suspect it'll be coming somewhere close to the release of Cyberpunk 2077. You guys already know that. If you don't know, at least I can say it in this video that Massive is very apt to bring out content to compete whenever you have new content schedules, even around the gaming, circle. So if a new gaming company is bringing out something and Massive has a promised update, they're going to bring it out around the same window. Even if you're doubting me, you have to look at even the release date and the proposed release date for these new changes in the summit. It comes out just a few days after Ghost of Tsushima Legends. It's usually around there, back and forth. They're usually kind of, staying close to one another with all of that stuff. I even suspect that by the time Mortal Kombat 11's Combat Pack 2 is even coming, this content might also come out in the face of that to also kind of gain relevance in the news cycle. And with Kenley College being teased with the new Code Nightmare event, I think this is an opportunity for the developers to actually bring something very cool to the table. Kind of a taste of something that they might make mainstream in year 3. And the biggest thing that players have been asking for regarding a content piece is survival. So if they can bring that Nightmare Code to put some kind of a mission or an event or a timed activity or something along the lines of, this situation or scenario where the player goes into an arena and has to actually fulfill specific tasks under harsh and really, disheartening conditions. I think players want to go back to that again, where they have that feeling of that. In fact, it could also be used as some sort of a PvP battleground where you can get the PvP players into the game and test out all kinds of things that will resonate more with the PvP community before major content pieces are put out. Because Kenley College, in my opinion, has not necessarily lived up to what the developers may have extended it to. I mean, it was a year 1 content piece that basically got taken offline because the community necessarily did not, see any reason to engage in it. And so they need to come now with something just like they've done with the summit, where they provided a skeletal framework and the community put in their input. They went back into the drawing board and basically delivered almost everything that we asked for, that was within reason anyways, to deliver in regard to playing the game. And I think Kenley College, it may be coming with something, but maybe this is just a timed event as a one-off. But when they want to start doing, timed Kenley College events, they need to take into account the feedback that we bring to the table after experiencing whatever this Code Nightmare thing is going to be. So Code Nightmare is going to come out, whatever it's going to be, we're going to experience it, and feedback is going to be dropped. And I think this is where we have to encourage ourselves in the community that feedback is what's going to build the Division 2 to what it is. this may seem really strange to people who are new to the community or people who've been in the community for a while. But what point is it for the developers to bring out a mode that players don't like and then have to take it back and still go try to make it to what players like, rather than just saying, give feedback and we'll make it to become what you like, and understand that there is a back and forth relationship with the community right now. And, you know, I just hope it's not a directive field thing. I hope it's something that brings in this fantasy of a DC62 environment where players are already at a handicap. Players cannot, see, their visibility is low. Players don't have their gear and they have to deal with, an impending threat. And we know Fei Lao was the tease, so we don't really know how the narrative is going to drive all of this, but it's something that's really interesting and important to see. And please, I know I'm going to get the few comments of, oh, we're going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077. We're not going to have time for the Division 2. And I can understand that many people are going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077. But trust me, once you beat the game and, you play it by yourself, you're going to have the one thing that, the Division 2 skillfully and masterfully does. And that's providing community and co-op gameplay seamlessly. You see, I think what tipped Destiny 2 over the edge to beat the Division in its game is they added a matchmaking system. I was talking about this last night with my friend Identity, and he basically, had to come to terms with the fact that the Division 2 provides this community, aspect of gaming that many other games don't provide. And so Destiny had to add that aspect of the game, but I don't think Destiny has fine-tuned it the way the Division has. The Division 1, right off the mill, we had matchmaking, and Destiny 1, to my recent understanding and knowledge, did not have that, And so when it came back to, the Division game, understanding its community dynamics, they were able to do it in a way where you can come into every kind of mission anyways and play with people, even to the point of raids where you can go with 8 people together playing these raid missions. The only downside is they didn't put a matchmaking for the main raids, but they have done discovery raids which do have matchmaking, which people can go in there and play, go in there and farm, go in there and get used to mechanics. At the end of the day, it is just a central and a core aspect of this game that I feel players have and will continue to resonate with. We don't have much of these in many other games. There are games that do have it, but not a lot. So I'm hoping that they'll bring this same aspect of community interaction, back and forth, dialogue, input, implementation into this Kenley College mode, because we've been sitting on this mode for, 2 years into the content cycles, and we haven't really seen much of it. And with all that potential just sitting there, a huge designed mini map, by the way, if you guys remember what Kenley College is like, it's just sitting there and, deactivated and nothing is happening. So they need to bring Kenley College online, and they need to take, just a step and see where the community wants it to go, and then eventually use it for all kinds of fun stuff. Let it be a sandbox that they play with, that they do mini modes with, timed events, special, gear, maybe limited time to farm specific gear items that have higher drop percentages. That, I think, is going to be successful in itself. And putting all of this together, the content is mainly free. So, I don't think it's a loss in any way you can look at it. I think it's a win-win situation. But let me stop this video for now. I'll come back again and we'll discuss some more pertinent, aspects of the game that I think the developers can leverage to start to make the game somewhat of this huge value system that's developed itself over 2 years. And it's not been an easy transition. I'm not going to sit here and, tell you that everything has been all, roses all this while. But I think we're coming to the point where we're starting to see the fruit of the patience involved. We've had issues in the world that has actually stunted the way things have flowed, and in game development. And I know many people have pushed back on, the whole pandemic thing should not have been an excuse. But the way game development really does work, I think, productivity was definitely, impacted when people had to go work from home in these gaming development concepts and even scenarios. So we'll see what it all comes to. I'll get out of here. Thank you so much for your time and audience. I appreciate you guys' support, and hopefully we'll see you in another video. Peace.